Okay, just give me one moment. Hopefully I can find my... I can just get in here first.
So, is it impossible to open a window or do something about...
I think they're open.
They are open. I'm really sorry. I know it's outside.
Okay, just give me a moment. Hopefully I can get myself started. Is this going to come up? Not coming up. Okay, I apologize. Just get myself started and I'll introduce. Oops. Back a bit. Jumping over ahead. Okay, I'm just going to be doing a short talk about, actually basically based on a couple of plugins which I've developed over my time as a teacher on BTEC courses. I think some of it's going to tie in some of the things we've had in some of the previous presentations already. But basically, I don't know if anyone's come across, so I've got one called the Upload PDF plugin and one called Checklist plugin, which thank you. I know one or two people in the audience are already using the Checklist plugin. I don't know if anyone's come across the Upload PDF or are using it at all. But hopefully I'm going to do a quick demonstration of it today. But basically I just want to start off by explaining how I kind of got stuck into doing Moodle plugin development from being a teacher. I'll start with that I was actually a programmer before I went into teaching, and possibly thinking of going back into the programming again, because I've been doing quite a lot of Moodle plugin development. But I was doing BTEC courses. I don't know if any of you teach BTEC courses, but you end up with that sort of thing on a regular basis, big piles of assignments, carrying them home. I cycle to work. That's not much fun. You also end up with resubmissions that look a bit like that. And you know, you've got to unpick this sort of folded up thing which they've kept in their pocket for the last 2 weeks before you can mark their resubmission. You also get a few complaints about my handwriting. I don't know why they complain about my handwriting, but apparently people can't read it. So so what I thought was, well, can actually Moodle solve this problem? Can I actually get some online marking system which will work for me? Now, what I really didn't want, well, I didn't want this situation where a student gives me any of these different types of files, they all get uploaded to the VLE, we then download them all, and then I open them up in PowerPoint or in Word or in Excel or in Photoshop or whatever. Then I have to figure out how am I going to add my comments to each of these different ones, remember what I called it in the first place, save it again, remember to upload all of those files back to the VLE, and hope that the student at some point will download them all and read them properly. I didn't want that. What I really wanted was this. The student throws all their work into the VLE, I go onto the VLE and mark it, and the student gets the marking back. I didn't want to be dealing with different file types. Now, I didn't quite get to that. The best compromise I got was this, basically making use of the magic of PDF. You can print students can print everything they've got to a PDF. It's very simple to set up. There's a free piece of software called PDF Creator. There's lots of others, and people can just use that, set it up as a printer on the computers in college or at home. They just do file and print, choose PDF Creator from the list, and out comes a PDF. It asks them where to save it. Students then upload all their PDFs to the VLE, and after that, I don't have to deal with all sorts of different assignments because it comes up looking a little bit like this. Now, I'm just going to demonstrate that this actually works. At least I hope I'm going to demonstrate that this actually works by just going back to my Moodle in here. Assuming that's still got me logged in. Get through. Right. Okay, so what I've got here is assignment. This is, I've created a special login here, which is both a student and a teacher at the same time, so I didn't have to faff around logging in, logging back out. So normally, the students can't mark their own work, but that's what it's going to look like for them in a moment. Okay, so we've got a student here. I've uploaded a couple of things because I just wanted a couple of documents. That's the proposal for this talk, and that's the agenda. I just wanted a couple of PDFs that weren't too controversial. And when you're setting up the PDF assignment, you can actually set up a template for your cover sheet, and you say, well, actually, I want to gather the student's name, today's date, maybe some feedback comments from the student, and you can actually set it up exactly where you want it to appear on the cover sheet. I'm not going to go into the details of how you do that today, but that's why we've got some names, some boxes here. So I'm just going to type in my name. Oh. And I'm going to say, put a comment, I hope you like my work. Yeah, give me lots of marks, or something like that. You know, I'm sure sort of things students normally write. And then, assuming it's still working, I can click send for marking, very much like normal submissions. Yes, it's all done. Okay, now I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the assignment marking system, but if I now click on here, note one little extra there. It tells you, the little number in brackets tells you how many unmarked assignments there are. So you can very quickly look at your course, and as you were saying earlier, you can see how many assignments there are and how many in each assignment are unmarked. I can then click on this big link that says Annotate Submission, and up in a new window pops the PDF that I've just uploaded, and there we go. There's the first page of it. If I'm going to hit the N and P keys on the keyboard to skip through it very quickly, and then if I want to add a comment to it, I just currently the comments icon is selected. I just click on there, and this is a comment. Okay, and I just click anywhere else on the page. That comment's there on the page. If I want to move it, I can just click, drag it somewhere else. I can resize it, move it about. If I don't like the color, I've got a choice of colors for the background, and I can just move around that. I can also, if I want to highlight a bit of text on here, I can just select the line drawing tool and draw a line on there, or I can draw a rectangle, or if I'm using a tablet computer, like I notice quite a few people around here are doing, I can select the line drawing tool and just scribble straight onto the page like that. I can go backwards and forwards. If I've made several comments on an assignment and I want to find them quickly, I can just click on the Find Comments list, and that's a bug I need to fix. Okay. I have to admit, the interface has changed radically in the last week. I've just been doing some major changes to it. So that obviously works when I've already got comments in there, but when you're new to it, yeah.
I would say it does work. I've used it, so
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the find comments I think works fine if you're opening up one which already had comments in it, but I think it obviously doesn't work when it's just added the first comment. The other thing you can do is with BTEC, we've got resubmissions, as we mentioned earlier. So it's very helpful to be able to actually look at the last submission, and assuming this is going to work, or is this going to do? This is going to. This is. Oh no, there it's come. It's come up. Right. So there I can see. There's all the comments I made on it last time, and this is the one which I see if this is working. Yep. There we go. So this is the current submission on the left and the previous submission on the right-hand side, and I can now go across the page. Obviously, with a higher resolution screen, it's a little easier, but I can find all the comments I made on the previous one, or if I don't want to open it up if I don't want to have it in a side frame, I can open it up in a new window instead. And this is where the Find Comments button is very, very useful. See, it does work. You can kind of click through and go very quickly to find the comments which you made on the page previously. So if I go across here, hopefully we'll find a little note put on down here, say you are here, which hopefully you will realize that. Okay, once you're done with that and you're happy, you've made all your comments, I'll just put the compare to back to none. You can, well, if you're working on it, you can click Save Draft and Close. That's actually a comfort button. Actually, if you just close the web browser, it saves all your comments anyway, but I'll put a button in there just to make people feel happier about saving their work. But if you click on Generate Response, then if I go back to here, we've now got a link here which says Download Response. I can now click on Open, and when that opens up, hopefully it'll open up an Adobe Reader or something, then when I get to page 2, I believe it was, where did I make my comments? I thought I made a comment. There we go. The scribbles and comments which I've put onto there are all there embedded within the PDF. Actually, a new feature which I've just put online is that the students can actually view it in the same way that teachers can, so they can view it online and find comments in it by using the same drop down that teacher can. But I literally only put that online on Saturday morning, so I've not actually got it on my test server at the moment. Okay, I've got fine, great. What I was going to do, that's a very quick overview of the Ulcc PDF plugin. If anyone wants to contact me, have a chat with me about it and ask me any further questions, then you're very welcome to do that. I'm on Twitter at Davo Smith, or you can find me anything you like at davodev.co.uk. Just switch back to it. My next problem was that after getting all these assignments in, after a while I got a bit annoyed because students have this annoying habit of giving me assignments that look a bit like this. Anyone ever come across that? Okay, they're usually not quite that blatant. They usually notice if they've got headings, task 1, task 2, task 3. But they do have a habit of doing a really good bit of work here and then completely forgetting an entire task, which was winding me up, something chronic. So I thought I'd do something about it. And what I invented was the checklist plugin. Okay, the idea was to give the students, here is a list of what you're going to do. I want you to tick it off as you do it, and then I, as a teacher, can actually see where they're up to. Some students do it, some students not so good at doing it. I was a bit mean. What I actually did is added an extra thing, so if they're using my Upload PDF assignment plugin, I can actually link the two together, and I can actually tell them, set it so they can't actually submit their work until the entire checklist is ticked off. They tend to just go on tick, 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 but you know, there's a limit to what you can do with technological solutions. Okay, so we've got the checklist plugin. It does answer 3 questions. So basically, the question of what did I need to do is obviously one question answers. What have I already done? It's a nice little bar chart, shows them the progress, how far through they are. And finally, where are all my students up to? So I've got my students, this is from my test server, so the student names are a little bit fictional. But I can actually see exactly who has completed which activities at this particular moment in time. Now, if I have still got a moment on my top, I'm fine on top, right, then I should be able to just to show it live example of it on here. Example checklist. So again, there is a checklist all working. I can tick answers on here and just click save. As a student, I can also click on, if you enable it, it's off by default. I can add my own items, which are not counted as part of the overall progress. But if I wanted to add myself an extra little note to say, how am I going to gather together an army of minions? Typing too quickly. Go to job center. Yeah, okay. Or Facebook. Yeah, okay. And then I can actually add my own items with notes on them. And as you notice, I've now got a second progress bar, which is for all the items. The main progress bar is what's counted off in terms of what the teacher sees, but the all items is there. You can also mess around with these items. You can see I can mess around with colors. So I can make steps into headings. So that top item is a heading just by clicking on these buttons on the left. I can cycle between an acquired item, an optional item which doesn't contribute to the main progress bar, or a heading. I can click on the little color box there to change the colors, move things up and down. And if I want to, I can also click, go to the bottom and add dates, click on edit dates, and I can add dates to each item, and optionally they can appear on the calendar. So you can say whether the dates should be on the course calendar or not. I mean, the checklist has actually grown enormously from when I originally planned it. It can now import, there's an option to import all your activities from your course. and have them check off automatically. In Moodle 1.9, it just does that on a set list of things like have they posted to the forum, have they posted to the wiki, stuff like that. With Moodle 2, you've got an option of using the completion system, so it links in with the completion system, and you can also choose whether you want to import all the activities from the whole course or just the activities from the current section of the course. I know it's a bit of a overdone, but that's kind of that's the upload PDF and checklist plugins. It's both of them work perfectly on 1.9 and 2. I say perfectly. I assume they both should work fine on 1.9 and 2 and Moodle 2. The website www.davodev.co.uk has got some YouTube videos on it showing you an overview of them, and it's also got a sample course with login details on the front, so you can actually go in and play with that, plus my real-time quiz plugin, which I'm not going to have time to talk about today, but that's on there as well. Any questions? Anything? Yeah. Yep. It does pick up the activities based on it. It doesn't show hidden activities, and it doesn't. And this was a recent bug fix. It now does pick up groupings properly. So if something's hidden, if it belongs to another grouping and it's hidden, then I'm fairly certain. Yes, I did do a bug fix on that, so it doesn't show activities. It did used to, but it doesn't anymore. Okay. Hiya. They can't delete items from the checklist. They can delete their own items from the checklist, but they can't delete teacher set items from the checklist. www.davodev.co.uk because I'm sort of also saying myself, aside being a teacher, I'm also looking at being self-employed to do a little bit of sort of plug-in stuff as well. Where
does the checklist show in the course?
Where does the checklist show in the course? It's a course module, so on the whole, it shows as an activity there. If I click on checklists over there, then when it actually shows you the progress bars for all the checklists.
So you can decide to make a checklist for one assignment or a checklist for all the assignments?
You can have as many checklists as you like, of course. You can also add a block, which I'll just do very quickly. There is a checklist block as well, which you can basically set up to show the reports for a particular checklist. So you can choose which checklist to show, and you can choose whether to show just one group or all participants. For the students, they just see their progress. For the teacher, you see a list of the progress of all the students on the course. Now, obviously, that's unmanageable for if you've got 100 students, but if you've got sort of 20, 30 students, that's a bit more reasonable.
I met Dave about 6 months ago online, and he supported our college and all the things that we've been doing with this, and he's been absolutely fantastic. I'm not on a percentage charge, but seriously, if you are in a bigger institution, we would have loved to have got Dave involved. He's been absolutely a star. We needed the colours to help with our vocational course, and I think it was about 2 weeks later I got this email through saying, yeah, they're in and they're working, and we wanted a way to separate out the pass, the merit and distinctions, and that was the solution. The only thing I think you may have overlooked is that you can actually have students and staff agree that a particular check item has been matched, and we use that quite a lot. So it can be submitted by the student, and they can say they've done it, and then the teacher can obviously say, yeah, great, and agree, or they can actually disagree, which forces the student to go back and revisit.
And in that particular instance, it's the teacher's mark which actually determines the progress, which is potentially a bit confusing for students because they tick everything and nothing happens until the teacher then agrees with it. I know that's one. I'm not quite sure what the solution to that particular issue is. Okay, I'm guessing. Oh. Yeah, it's both plugins have actually been available for quite some time. The upload PDF has had some recent tweaks to it. I've kind of redone the interface quite radically in the last 2-3 weeks. The only gotcha with the upload PDF is you do need to install GhostScript on your server, and if it's a Windows server, you then have to tell it where to find GhostScript. which is a bit of an extra step. It's not that difficult to do, but unfortunately it's necessary to actually turn the PDF into the pictures that you actually annotate on. Is there a question there? Yeah. 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 I have to admit, I've looked into that a number of times, and if there is a fantastic open source solution out there which can do that, I've not yet found it. I've found lots of companies that want to sell you a £3,000 solution for your corporate environment that will do that. I have come across the idea of using OpenOffice installed on the server and basically feeding or Word documents, things like that, into OpenOffice and getting it straight out PDF. But I'm a little wary because that's going to be quite a major setup for the organisation. It's potentially, I think, would probably cause quite a lot of server load. And also, you've got the issue that Word documents don't always come out absolutely perfect from OpenOffice. So there's issue. I've started looking into that, but it scared me quite a bit when I've looked at it. Question yet? Sorry? They're all on the Moodle.org website. So, yeah, I say that plus a few other ones. If you go to the advanced search, if you really want to find anything that I've done, go to the advanced search and just type first name Davo in the username search on Moodle plugins. You'll find 5 or 6 entries for myself. Is that? Yeah, I mean, OpenOffice and latest version of Word can save straight directly to PDF from within it. The reason we've used PDF Creator is because then you don't have to give separate instructions if they're using something like Photoshop and they want to create an image to or if they're using some fancy CAD package or any other thing. Every package can do file print and use PDF Creator. Okay.